In the 6 years we've been on the air, 300 lives have been saved as a result of what people have learned from watching this program. For one family in Prairie Village, Kansas, being viewers of Rescue 911 brought them an unexpected advantage early on the morning of November 11th, 1993. "16-year-old Justin White was the first family member to wake up that morning.
What happened to the family frustrates me a lot because it could have been very easily prevented. We generally have that attitude, you know, it can't happen to us, but it did.
Come on, Brandon, let's go. Time to get up, go to school. Come on, Brandon, move your butt.
And I went in to wake my brother up.
Come on, let's go. I'm running late. Now you got time for your games. Let's go. Let's get your butt out of bed.
He didn't want to wake up. He was acting like he was real sick.
I got to get up.
And I thought he was faking it just to get out of school that day because it was miserable outside.
Feel good.
Since you want to shower now.
He was kind of crying, and then he collapsed onto the floor.
Brandon. Mom?
Their parents, Kim and Don Brooks, were asleep just down the hall.
It was really hard to get awake that morning, but I heard a commotion in the hallway, so I finally talked myself out of bed.
He looked like he had the flu. There's a big flu bug going around the city.
What's wrong, bud? Brandon, I said, come on, why don't you get up? And he said, I can't move. I'm paralyzed.
Hey, Don?
What?
Panic kicked in.
And they're thinking about putting him back to sleep.
What's going on? Kim? Jeez.
Once my mom collapsed, my dad said it clicked into his head that it was carbon monoxide poisoning.
Open the doors and get them outside.
He said get them out of the house.
Fire an ambulance. Where do you need us?
7843.
7843. What's the problem there?
Carbon monoxide. It's in the house. My wife went down and my son went down.
Are they awake?
Yes, I got them awake and I got them outside.
Okay.
Johnson County dispatcher Darlene Walker took the call.
A small quantity of carbon monoxide can be lethal. He was in danger the longer he stayed inside. Most people that die from carbon monoxide poisoning die in their sleep.
Stay outside of the house. We've got the fire department and an ambulance on the way.
I gotta go.
Yeah, get out there.
All right.
The biggest fear I had when I got this call, would they still be awake when he got back out there? 1144, 223, 1104.
Rescue units were immediately dispatched. Prairie Village Police Corporal Steve Hunter was nearest to the scene.
We received a call from a dispatcher that there was a carbon monoxide poisoning at number 38's address, which is Sergeant Brooks's badge number.
Ed?
He became unconscious at that time.
Janet, come here.
And they were very pale, very blue looking. They weren't moving any. I thought they were dead.
You think the worst with 4 victims at the house. And I knew that it was a very bad scene.
Don.
The carbon monoxide was so strong there at the front door that I went in probably 15 seconds or less and immediately received a headache.
Yeah, can you hear me?
The last 17 years of police work, I've never seen any survivors from carbon monoxide.
Among those who responded was MedAct ambulance paramedic John Linville.
The main symptoms of carbon monoxide, the early symptoms are ringing in the ears, maybe some visual difficulties, nausea, vomiting, a throbbing headache.
An engine company from Fire District Number 2 arrived, led by Lieutenant John Allen.
I bunked up, put on my air pack, and my carbon monoxide monitor. My firefighter just at the front door had a reading of 200 parts per million. Right then, those people are really in danger. In the back rooms, where the air hadn't really had a chance to naturally ventilate, our reading went as high as 300 parts per million.
At St. Joseph Health Center, all 4 members of the Brooks family were treated by emergency physician Mike Riley.
We measured their carbon monoxide levels. The father's was the highest at 26%. Mother's was second, around 20%. And both boys measured at 19%. The normal concentration of carbon monoxide in the blood is closer to 1 to 2%.
The doctor told us if we'd been in the house 10 more minutes, we'd be dead.
The Tuesday before this happened, we'd been watching an episode of Rescue 911. And they had a segment on a carbon monoxide poisoning. And for some reason, and to this day, I still don't understand why, but that is the first thing that popped into my head. If we hadn't seen the episode of 911, I would have picked them up and put them back in bed thinking it was the flu. And had I done that, we would have died.
10 months have passed. The Brooks family is still suffering long-term side effects from their carbon monoxide poisoning.
The boys are having problems with thought process, working in school. Don's been put on what they call light duty right now at the police department. I would call him, as they would say, the best of the best. He always wanted to be there. He always wanted to be in the middle of everything. And he's just not that way anymore.
Johnson in Rayfield.
They've likened what happened to me to having a mild stroke. I've never worn glasses before in my life. It affected my speech, memory loss. My guys at the Prairie Village Police Department. It was a very strange feeling that I would be the one that they had to come to instead of me being the one having to go to somebody.
Brandon was really afraid. He kept saying, I thought they were dead. I thought my parents had died. And it wasn't until I read his letter that I realized really how much they were upset.
Keep your arm up.
Finding out that 10 minutes longer in my house, I would have died. That makes me feel real sick. The thing that scared me the most was thinking that my mom was possibly dead. Terrifies me. The whole thing came down to one thing, possibly death, and that just scares me to death.
A subsequent investigation determined that the buildup of carbon monoxide was caused by improper furnace venting.
Carbon monoxide is a killer. It creeps into your house and it creeps into your body, and you don't even know what's there. I think everybody should have a carbon monoxide detector in their home.
My dad that morning saved the whole family, which was the biggest satisfaction, I think, of any award he's ever gotten. He received none for this one, but it was more satisfying than anything he's ever done in his life.